welcome to Talking Slop. It's the platform that I've been set up and delivered for the light, but COVID basically, just pre-COVID, it was basically due to be set up alongside Baba Kalindi, man. He was going to be the person I wanted to launch this with. I wanted him to be my first guest, and the whole idea around that was to talk slop, and slop is shit. AKA because I'm into funk and the slop, the cosmic slop.
Yeah.
You know, and but I'm also into shit because I'm a horticulturalist.
Right on.
And I know how important shit is.
Right on.
As a mycologist, I know how important shit is.
Yeah.
You know, and when me and my homies talk shit, sometimes some divine shit comes out of that.
Exactly.
Some divine thing. So I didn't want to have a structure. I didn't want it to be this kind of interview thing. I just wanted to be like when me and my homies just chop it up and talk shit. Right. And that's what I wanted to do with Barbara and many others. And why that was simply because the theme around this, being psychedelics, was a subject that I didn't find too many people that look like myself on the platforms that people go on to find out about this information on there, people that look like you and me. So I'm in Atlanta and I want to talk slop with you and chop it up and do what we do. So I think how we're going to do this is if you just introduce yourself, what you do, and then I'm going to piggyback off that, how we connected, and then we're just going to talk slop for 10-15 minutes and just see where we're at now.
Alright. I'm Baba Soul, born and raised in Georgia, from Decatur, you know what I'm saying? I'm somewhat of a hybrid of new consciousness and old consciousness, you know what I'm saying? I come from the streets, but I've adapted to the new age, you know what I'm saying? But I really feel like what I'm here to do is show people how to do the same, but quickly. I don't think that it's a problem with what's going on today. It's just that people just have to work on themselves. So I'm an ethnobotanist by trade, you know what I'm saying? My passion is showing people the relation between the plant medicine and us over time as a people, the indigenous people of this earth, as well as showing us how to survive off the land. Also into metaphysics, meditation, pranayama, energy work, things like that, psychotherapy, things like that. I came up with my own type of therapy. It's called subconscious liberation therapy, you know what I'm saying? It's in my book, Wisdom and Philosophy on Intuitive Energy Work. That's what it is, man. I love plants and I love making music and helping people, you know what I mean?
Nice. But what can I say, man? All I'm saying is real recognize real. I first connected with this brother at an event a couple days ago, physically that was, and there was energy about the brother, didn't know exactly what, and then my plug to the event was like, yo, this guy does spoken word, he does music, and maybe we can get him doing some stuff on stage later on.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that happened. I don't know if I wasn't just in the space to bear witness to that happening.
It didn't happen because it was a lot of information that needed to be said, you know what I'm saying? So that was a blessing, you know what I mean?
Alright. But nonetheless, I wanted to chop it up with you. That was was one of them ones there, and we touched base and so forth. And even now, man, it's like, man, I always want to be the flyest nigger in the place with a t-shirt, man. I'm looking at your t-shirt, and I was like, yeah, this brother's dope, man. He knows what time it is.
Hey, yeah, you already know.
So we got those trippy mushroom, influenced t-shirts there. And the purpose of this platform was to basically have mature conversations about psychedelics, bro. It's like people looking like me and you talking about psychedelics. So when people go and type in psychedelics,
right,
they can say, oh, there's someone who looks like me. Yeah. And we're not talking about it from this, fair-based perspective, or it's still being a taboo. So my first question to you, bro, with all that said, because there's a lot that I think I'd want to chop up with you, but to just stay on that transit of how did you first engage or get into psychedelics, and what role is it currently playing in your life?
Man. So my role with psychedelics came when I had got locked up for some time, and then when I got out of jail, I wasn't able to smoke marijuana and things like that. So my mind was like, yo, what can I do to escape this imprisonment in my mind, because I was very much so institutionalized, through public school, and as well as going to jail a couple times, things like that. And but nature was always one of my allies, you know what I mean? So like, my only child, he's called me Nature Boy. But when I got in the streets, all of that went away. But once I got a chance to like sit down, got into like meditation and stuff, and started learning about different plants, you know what I'm saying, that can actually like help you elevate your mind, your consciousness, and see what's beyond just right here where we at, you know what I mean? So I started exploring, and I got a hold of salvia, dipping on. That was one of the first psychedelics I ever got into, you know what I'm saying?
That's how we connected yesterday. I said that the same thing. That was the first one I got to experience, yeah, man.
So she really taught me some lessons, man, and showed me that, you know, where we at right now is not the end all be all, you know what I mean? So many different layers to this, what we call multiverse, or what you like, whatever you like to call it, you know what I mean? That's how it started for me, and, you know, I wanted to get into other plant medicines, and I really believe that, you know, if it's meant for you, then you'll meet those medicines. They're gonna meet you halfway, because they teach us, you know what I'm saying? They're not just plants, you know what I mean? They're actual entities with whole motives, you know what I mean, and missions, and they choose it, you know, they got discernment, you know what I mean, all kind of different things. So, and for a long time, I wanted to do mushrooms, but I couldn't find mushrooms, you know what I'm saying? But then when it came to the right time, that's what it is, and all the other plant medicines.
So what do they say? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
You're right, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's for real, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's for real, for real.
Nice. So what I'm curious to know, because for me growing up, psychedelics was pretty much taboo, man. It wasn't something that my parents spoke about. It wasn't something that my homies were speaking about. It was only something that the white boys that I went to school were talking about. You know, that's what it was, and it took years of me just on my personal journey of, you know, knowledge of self and the spiritual path that I was on, that it kept on coming up as something. But even then I was like, nah, you know, the Most High has given me what I need. Everything we need is inside of us, and you know, I don't need to be using something outside of myself. You know, all these kind of ideas and notions. And I'm still around a lot of people who have that perception of life, you know, and would give you, or, you know, kind of put across the impression that, you know, taking psychedelics is like cheating, you know, it's not our thing, it's not something that we should be doing. So can you vouch for psychedelics and the experiences you've had, you know, since your first experience, in the benefits that it's given to you or others that you know, and why it's not what we thought it may have been based on the mind control information that's been disseminated?
I can definitely vouch for psychedelics, you know what I'm saying? Because I really believe that if you know how to use, you know, these tools, then you can actually make some progress. But if you're just dealing with them on the surface level, then they're gonna deal with you in the same. So you gotta be able to make an intention with what you're doing for it to actually develop into something. You know, they're just catalysts for you being who you truly want to be. You know, all of them have different properties. You know, not all of them have the same effects. So it's like you gotta figure out which ones work best with you as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I can say that, like, even for me in my existence right now, who I am, you know, I can say for sure that plant medicines have helped me develop this CPU here, you know what I mean? And create the reality that I'm now, you know, partaking in. Because it's definitely something premeditated, but, you know, I've always known, I forgot who I learned it from, but you need to be able to focus on a thought for at least 20 minutes to make it manifest into this reality. But a lot of us don't even have that focus. But I do know for a fact that some of these plant medicines allow us to do that, you know what I mean? To carry on a consistent, streamlined consciousness, to actually start walking into it, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, how do you know the difference between that and this, you know? That's how you do it, you know, dream work, all that kind of stuff.
Nice, man. Respect. So, because, as I said, it's still such a taboo subject, and I'm trying to create these dialogues where we're having mature conversations. What do you think is, you know, from someone on the outside looking in, what is a good entry point into? Because as you said, it's like, they call you, rather than you find it. But some people I know right now, they go on Netflix, there's like a psychedelic documentary on Netflix, and they go on YouTube and they're like, yo man, I want to try this, I want to explore more, or I want to deal with my anxiety, my depression, or PTSD. What are some of the healing potentials that you think these things have to offer, and what is the route people should step into this space with?
What I always tell everybody is that, the medicine is going to show you yourself first. So I think that that's the taboo of it all, that they're afraid to see themselves. So like, you got to be committed to doing some healing work on yourself, even if you feel like you don't have nothing to do. You're going to see something there, because there's shadow work involved with it, you know what I mean? It's not all just rainbows and unicorns and little gnomes running everywhere, you know what I mean? It's really, there are people that have past life regressions and all kind of different things that come from this. I've helped somebody deal with a conflict in reality where they were dealing with a past life and they were dealing with this reality, and they didn't understand that, you know what I mean? And they wanted to leave this place because it was too much, you know what I mean? And so you gotta be going into it with like, okay, I'm surrendering, but I'm also coming in fortified with the mindset that I'm getting some work done. And then once you get your work done, you can have fun, you know what I mean? But a lot of people think it's about the fun, that's where they tap out in the wrong way. You end up going in there, but I don't mess with that. Well, hopefully that answers the question.
No, it does, man, because there's no right answer, man. It's like, what I've learned is everyone's got their perspective, you know, and like their experiences. And that's mainly what I'm trying to get across, is that there's people out here that are having experiences and sorting their shit out, lightening their loads, dealing with the shadow, dealing with their shit. So it's like, how do you do that? There's no set way of doing that, man. Right. That's like you said, it's going to show you, it's going to show you how to deal with you.
Right.
And it's up to you to then put the work in. You know what I'm saying? Like, most definitely. And bro, because there's so much I'd love to chat with you about, and I'm conscious of the time, I'm conscious of my battery.
Right on.
But because you made that transition into fun, and for me, one of the most important things I do for fun is creativity. Yeah. And I know you're a creative being. I just see you performing, you just smashed it, you're walking all over tables and shit. You know what I'm saying? Killing it. So I'm curious to know the role that the plant medicine has played in influencing your creativity and your music and so forth. Has there been any knock-on effects?
Man, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, the song I did tonight, Molecular, is called, in parentheses, Signs. It's about being somebody, well, basically, let me just say that I personified the lyrics to be us as melanated people throughout time, you know what I mean? Because I've had journeys where I've seen different past lives of myself, and it's been like, this happened, but it's always leading to the same things. It's about keep going with the signs so that I can keep getting stronger with that reality that I had in the last one, to monetize on it, to grow stronger and do more, with this reality, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm a molecular structure moving through time, gravitating to what my mind can tell me the signs, you know what I'm saying? For us to be in those zones, when you in a heavy trip, you gotta surrender, you know what I mean? You kinda gotta just go with that shit, Sometimes you can't control it, and when you try to control it, it gets really rough, you know what I mean? So like, the best thing you can do is to just like float through it and allow it to show you what you need to see, you know what I'm saying? Be thankful for it, you know what I mean? So personifying, what I feel, because I feel like you can't even explain a lot of the shit that you see on these journeys, you know what I'm saying, that you go on in words, but I've kind of been perfecting it, you know what I mean? Because like, it's mostly pictures and stuff. Like, even if you see what trees, to explain what trees be showing me, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, like, it's crazy, so like, and then it just influenced me to give people a different way of seeing things as well, because maybe they not wanting to take this medicine. My music is the medicine.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Most definitely. I tell people all the time, for me it was my era with, Public Enemy and Ice Cube. Those were the two things that made me say, yo, where the hell are they getting this information from? And where do I get access to it, and then how do I apply that?
Right.
And you know, I'm saying what to say that I know how powerful music is, and I don't care what anybody says. If plant medicine does its thing and all that, but music crosses over and translates into so many cultures, traditions, generations, genres, you know what I'm saying? Where if you can translate your own personal experience through the music, you're going to touch and reach multiple people than you would, you could ever anticipate. So I really do know the power of music. I'm a byproduct of it, and I know obviously you are, and you're a creative of it. So it might not be, like you said, easy to express an experience on psychedelics through words, but I think music would be the best tool, like to do that through. Man.
Here's just a little, Easter egg for some of the people that know me. My Aquarian King project, I recorded that whole project on LSD and freestyle the whole shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like molecular, I didn't write this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That shit came to me on the spot. A lot of the beats, I wrote it with my boy Pac-Man. He's my producer. I went in the studio and he showed me the beat. I was like, oh yeah, let's go. He had the mic hanging, we had the blue light in there. I was in the spaceship. And I just was like, yo, let's do this shit. So floating through the city, all of that. It's in the moment. So that's the best way that I could capture, everything. You know what I mean? That's the best way it is. So, check that project out. You know what I'm saying?
I will do, bro. I felt you inside there. I was like, oh shit. I came right to the front. You know what I'm saying? I just started picking up the vibes, man. So, I definitely will be tapping into the online materials, and I'll be back and hope to build with you as well, man, and be creative as well, man, because I'm a creative being from the behind the scenes to in front of the scenes, just making shit happen, inspiring people. Because like I really do know, not even feel, I do know, change and shit is gonna be happening through music, man.
What?
Creative arts, man. It always has been, that drum, that heartbeat.
Yeah,
man.
That's what it's all about.
So on that note, brother, how do we find you, man? How do we connect with you? How do we get access to your materials and find out more about your work?
Y'all can find me online at BABASOL. That's 2 words. Baba Soul. You can Google my name, and a lot of things will pop up. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's the same thing, but Baba.SOL. I got a book out, got music out. Also teach classes on how to forage medicinal and edible medicine, and how to grow your own food, survive off the land. So tap in with me anytime y'all need to, man. I'm here for the people, as well as growing with the people.
Nice, man, brother. Salute, man. All I can say is keep up the good works. Don't stop what you're doing.
You too, bro.
I look forward to catching up with you again, man, and building. Most definitely.
That's it,
all right,
man.
peace.